End of the year, it is a time, isn't it, that lots of us reflect back on our proudest achievements of the past 12 months and perhaps think about setting ourselves new goals for next year. It's certainly been a very exciting end to the year for one man from Surrey, as it's been confirmed he's set a new world record. Now, that is an achievement to be proud of. Ben Melham is from Hersham and has officially achieved a new Guinness World Record for visiting the most museums in 24 hours. He carried out the challenge in London, getting about on foot and by scooter, and he visited 42 in all. And Ben joins me now. Ben, congratulations. 42 is a serious number of museums. You must have been exhausted.
Hi, Marcella. Yeah, absolutely exhausting. A really big day. Managed to get around as many as possible, and some fantastic museums, so it's great to visit them.
Yeah, we are very blessed, aren't we, with our museums? And of course, I think most of them are free, aren't they? So that's quite good. So where did your idea for this record attempt come from?
Well, it's actually kind of rounding back about 12 months to last Christmas. My daughter got the Guinness Book of World Records for Christmas last year. So I was chatting with my daughter, Matilda, my son, Henrik, and having a conversation about whether Daddy could actually break a world record or not. And it kind of got me thinking, as it wasn't going to be for the fastest marathon time or anything like that, but I spend a lot of time at museums. So I thought I had a look, and you can look on the Guinness website to see what world records are available to be broken. And the most museums in one day at that point was held in Delhi in India, and I thought it was 22 at that point, and I thought that's a world record I could possibly beat. So that was my goal for the year. Wow, you've not only beaten it, you've almost doubled it. That's amazing. It's fantastic. It took an awful lot of planning, but it was a good goal to have for the year. The logistics were probably the really challenging bit, and to follow all the rules that were set. Yeah, how do they sort of qualify a museum visit? Because I guess you can't just step in and go, yeah, it's in it, leaving. How do they check it? Guinness said about 30 different rules that we had to follow. So the visit I had to be tracked by GPS. I had to have a team of witnesses with me, following me around, working in shifts. I had to get a signature. I had to get videos of me entering and leaving the museum. I had to get a signature of somebody who worked there and a photo of me with at least one of the objects. So that's what qualified as a visit, was to actually go inside and be next to at least one object in the museum. That must have been crazy. When you got into all the nitty-gritty of the admin, did you sort of think, I might have bitten off more than I can chew here? That's quite intense. It was the admin. I think it's actually on the day when we're probably about halfway through, and then realising that we'd already kind of covered a half marathon distance. It was actually, we covered the full distance of a marathon in the day around central London. Wow. Which I hadn't actually added up the distances at the time, so that came as a little bit of a shock, but we did manage it, so that was probably one of the biggest challenges of the day. That does sound exhausting. It's like when you're sightseeing, isn't it, and you realise, oh my God, I've done 20,000 steps, but you don't notice so much because you're occupied. Yes, no, exactly. And then to kind of get around and to see them all. And the biggest challenge is because there's so many wonderful museums. And one of the main reasons I did it was to actually promote museums, and particularly large and small museums. And we're kind of blessed in the UK with around 2,000 registered museums, plus lots of others who aren't registered. So an opportunity to kind of get out there, to talk about them, to post about them. And then getting into these small museums who amazingly said, oh, great, you're at our small museum. Can you come and visit and have a look around? And at that point, I promised a return visit to most of them, because on the day that you could only stay for so long when you had to get through 42 in one day. Did you discover some hidden gems that you didn't know about then, or did you already know about all the little ones as well? No, there was some that even I work in museums myself, and get to visit a lot of museums kind of during my day job. But this one, even I discovered some in central London, the Museum of Freemasonry in central London, the Museum of Methodism. There's literally a museum for everything, and obviously the having in central London was amazing because there was that density of museums to be able to cover that many to try and get the world record. But there are many across kind of Surrey and Sussex as well that we're very keen of and to kind of get to as well. Yeah, absolutely. And I know it's probably difficult, but do you have a favourite? So favourite museum is probably maybe not one of the ones we visited, but based in Hersham, Surrey. So we've got Brooklands Museum in Weybridge. Which yes, that is amazing. An amazing museum, and if any of your listeners haven't been to it, I'd encourage them to go and visit. It's absolutely fantastic. Yeah, that is amazing. And they've got, am I right in saying they've got the special bank where the cars used to drive? Yeah, they've got the racing track. I think it was the first British Grand Prix was held there. They've got an amazing aviation collection. We love going there. The kids love going there. So Brooklands Museum is absolutely fantastic.
Yes, that is a fantastic museum. Absolutely. Well done. Did your daughter get the Guinness World Record book again this year? Are you having to do something new next year?
She did. She got it this year, but obviously we've completed it too late in the year. So hopeful for next year. My daughter did say that it doesn't count unless it's in the book. So we're hoping to get in the book for next year. And right. One of the things we actually did, we found out from Guinness, and I asked them, I said, is there also a world record for the most museums visited in 1 year? And they said there currently isn't, but I'd be allowed to set it. So I'm currently also going for the Guinness World Record for the most museums in 1 year. So hopefully we'll get across museums in Surrey and Sussex. We've got nearly 200 museums kind of across the two counties as well. So
yeah, that sounds fantastic. And are you documenting your progress on social media?
Yeah, if any of your listeners are keen to look up a kind of Instagram at Collecting Museums, all one word. So I post about every museum that I visit in a to kind of promote those museums, and we've had some really kind of good uptake as well. And if any of your listeners have museums they think I should be visiting, then please, can direct message me on at Collecting Museums on Instagram.
Brilliant. That sounds great, because often you think, I must go and see a museum, and then you just kind of feel a bit baffled. Have you been to the booth down here in Brighton?
I haven't, no. So Brighton's on my list. I'm actually hoping to come down and do a good kind of day or two down in Brighton, because there's a good few number of museums down there I'm hoping to get to as well.
I tell you what, the Booth Museum is something else, certainly is. Come and try that one out. Lovely to speak to you, Ben. Well done. Huge congratulations, and say hi to your kids as well, and a very happy Christmas and Happy New Year.
Man, same to you. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Bye-bye.
On BBC iPlayer,
I'm going to share a story that barely seems believable.
Keanu Reeves tells one of the greatest underdog stories